Hello ladies and gentlemen, this is actually a quick video that I'm just doing to make sure that the audio works correctly. So this is the premium beta phase 1 of Elite Dangerous, and I'm sure there's quite a few people out there that are doing videos on this because I'm not the only person who's picked it up. It is rather expensive, so I understand a lot of people won't have it. Some people may not know about Elite Dangerous, but if you followed anything about Star Citizen, Elite Dangerous is going to be in the same mold. It's just that, honestly, I would be playing Star Citizen, except it's been put back even further. So they don't know when the dogfighting app is actually going to be out, so I can't fly my Constellation right now, which makes me rather sad. But Elite Dangerous is a game in the same mold as Star Citizen, so I figured I might as well play them both and see which one takes me. You know, one might end up being better than the other. I'm not sure. So we're going to do combat scenarios. I haven't gone through all the scenarios because I've been practicing a lot in waste disposal, just learning how to fly. And one of the things that I discovered when I was playing was that there aren't any real good tutorials, per se, that teach you how to fly before they shove you into a fight. This one just teaches you the most basic mechanics about flight. And this is a game that I've identified already as being... You desperately need a joystick to play this game. I don't have a joystick. I haven't had a decent joystick in a long time because I haven't played games that really needed them. I don't really do flight sims. So I would love to have a really nice HOTAS setup, H-O-T-A-S, which is basically a flight stick and a toggle that allows you to adjust your speed and slow down, speed up, reverse, all that kind of stuff. It allows you a lot of free range motion and stuff. You can have the full HOTAS setup. You can have just a joystick and use the keyboard, or you can use keyboard and mouse. Now me, I don't have a joystick at all, so I've been using keyboard and mouse. It doesn't tell you very well how to fly. These are things that you just have to experience on your own by pushing buttons, and also the setup for the buttons isn't very good. It doesn't explain really what the buttons do if you look in the control. And I tried to set buttons myself, but it doesn't work very well. If I move over to custom, if I customize just a couple of things, see, this just tells you pitch, roll, yaw, vertical thrust, and lateral thrust. It's not very... There's very little information. It doesn't even tell you which buttons do any of it. It's just like, you can do this. It's basically saying, move your ship by moving your ship. It's like, this is what pitch is, so you move it up and down. That's how you control your ship. Moving it up and down, side to side, rotating it, or side to side, rolling, and then vertical and lateral movement. It doesn't tell you how to do those things, it's just saying that those are the elements of movement. Also, engine boost, it doesn't tell you how to do that. Flight assist, to enable or disable automatic flight, doesn't tell you how to do that either. It just lets you know that they are there. So it is a beta, but these are like tooltips. I feel like these should be fixed in 15 seconds, but they're really shitty. So that's just all there is to it. You basically have to just trial and error. Now, a lot of people love that. They don't like any hand holding. Some people would think this is too much information. That's fine, but I don't want to waste like 3 hours just learning the buttons to do things. I would rather it tell me what buttons to use to fly, and then I'll experiment and learn how to fly. That's fine. Tell me how to fly, like what I control, what controls my flight, and then I'll experiment. That's fine. But just telling me that I can fly and then just saying not do it, that's not very good. And then the next over here, if I can fucking click on it, UI focus, again, doesn't tell you the button. It's middle mouse click. It's middle mouse. Use left and right to view the side panels. No, not really. You actually use Q and E, I believe. No, Q and E switches between tabs. A and D, if you're using the keyboard, is left and right. Also, you can hit middle mouse and then look by using the mouse to move your head. Or you can hit like 1, 2, 3, 4. Those change what you're looking at too. These are just little bits of information that you learn from experimentation that it just doesn't tell you. So anyway, so if I move the mouse up, it makes me move up and down. However, if I move it left or right, it adjusts. It makes me roll. This controls my roll. I don't like that. I wish that it would control the yaw instead, but the yaw is instead controlled with A and D. Honestly, I would prefer A and D to be my lateral thrusts. I would prefer roll to be Q and E, which actually Q and E are your lateral thrusts. And this up and down, that's fine. I wish that this, so you have to customize it, but from what I've been able to see, customizing your controls is really fiddly, and sometimes if you customize just one thing, it doesn't want to let you use any of the controls at all. So I don't know, and I don't understand exactly what this is all asking me, like roll left, roll right. There's no button here. There's nothing here because it's the mouse, and it doesn't really know, I guess, how to tell you that this is the mouse. It's doing that. So I don't know how to change it. I don't know how to change any of the buttons, because if I change one button, sometimes it will erase all the information it has for everything, and my new custom map will allow me to do one thing, whatever I change. So imagine if y'all right, I change that to, like, I don't know, F for some reason. Let's just imagine that I change it to F for some reason. Then my new custom presets would be like, F is the only button that does anything. I can y'all right. I can't do anything else. My mouse doesn't control what I'm looking at. My middle mouse doesn't control my UI. My 1, 2, 3, 4 buttons don't work. It doesn't always do that, but sometimes it does, and it's a big pain. It's huge pain. See, I'd like, all right, y'all right? All right, so mouse x-axis. All right, left x-axis. Okay, great. Now roll. Let's change. Actually, let's see if we can do pitch down. No, pitch is fine. Where's Q and E? Thrust left. Let's make that A. Thrust right. D. Let's change roll. Roll left is Q. Roll right is E. Now I don't know if this will work. I'm gonna try it. We'll see. But it may have erased everything else. Now let's resume. No. See, it's not. It didn't even change it. It changed my lateral. It changed my roll. But this also still controls my roll. So as you can see, some of these things are really confused when you're trying to edit controls. It's just, it doesn't work very well. And I have no idea how to change it. I really don't. Like, what if I did this? All right, y'all left and y'all right. All right, I'm gonna leave that alone. Where's the roll? All right, so roll. Let's just do Q and E again. All right, maybe the secondary was trying to come into effect. Let's see if that did anything. Nah. See? Still makes me roll with the mouse. Still makes me roll like that. So now I literally cannot turn left or right. I can't do it. It won't let me. Alright, I'm going to fiddle around with this a little bit more and see if I can... I was just trying to show you guys some of the problems that this has so far and basically how to fix them. This worked earlier. And now it's not, so maybe I'm forgetting to do something. Give me 1 second, and I'll double check. Okay, I give up. I can't deal with it. It refuses to act right. And since I can't make it work the way that I want it to, I've given up. Now, there are a few things that you have to get used to if you're playing this game. The controls are a little fudgy, honestly. I've tried my best to fix them as much as I can, but I honestly don't know how to. Certain things the ship just doesn't want to do quickly, so it takes a lot of control for you to manually force it to do what you want to do. It's one of those things that I think will benefit greatly from you having a joystick. Now, the sounds in the game are great, but fighting is difficult, at least for me. Maybe you have to get used to it a lot more, which could very much... That's the boost. Now, I can't enter frame shift, which is basically warp, yet. I don't know how to. Also, I haven't been given, like, the option to, honestly. There's too much rolling in this. Because the way the game's set up, the way the mouse controls are set up, I just roll all the time when I don't want to. Now, right now, I'm shooting at space garbage. Not very well. Because again, the mouse and keyboard setup isn't very good. I don't like it. And I can't change the keys very well, so I can't get into a position that I'm more comfortable with. I don't know how this is optimal for certain people. I mean, someone had to have played it like this and thought, alright, this is optimal. Now, maybe that's because I'm not very good at flight sims. I have played very little flight sims in my entire life. But that's not going to stop me from trying to teach you guys how to fly. Now, again, I'm not the best flyer, but there are a few things that are, you know, based on physics and understanding how you like just float around when you're flying. There are a few things that I learned, like, so that I do know how to do. For instance, if you're in a dogfight, lateral thrust is good. If you're going up, if you're doing lateral thrust up, so if you're like, you know, flying along the what is this? The x-axis, the y-axis. I always get those two mixed up. I was always terrible at it. So this may be the x or y-axis. I don't know. When you're flying up, if you've got an enemy on your tail, flying up and aiming down, you will turn around faster. Like you will turn in a tighter curve than if you were trying to look down and you were moving laterally at the same time while flying forward. Now, if you want to turn around very quickly, though, the best way to do it is to decrease your speed and then try to go in reverse while you're doing this laterally. See, you'll turn so much faster. I mean, you can see it already. And then you gotta turn back real quick. So there's a lot of stuff that you have to be aware of in dogfights. Reverses are damned important. I don't know about rolling, honestly. See, you don't turn very fast on this axis, which I believe is the x-axis. Again, I was really bad at remembering those, and I don't use these mathematical terms very often during the day. I need to turn this down. I feel like I'm screaming at my microphone right now, and I very well could be, and just not be aware of it. But, alright, so basically, let me stop. The keyboard and mouse, the way it works is if you're on the default settings, then mouse up and down along the y-axis, that will, you know, force you to look up and down. It will control the actual camera. Left and right, let's just do left and right. That is the A and D, and as you can see, it's much, much slower than pointing up and down. That's why there's a lot of rolling involved, because now you can turn left and right by just rolling, and you have more control. I mean, you go faster looking up and down. So if you roll, it's faster. See? Now, I'm assuming that's why they put roll on the mouse rather than putting it on one of the buttons. Honestly, I think I would control it more precisely if it was on the buttons instead, because I end up trying to lead my mouse, like lead myself left and right using the mouse, because the mouse has more precise controls. Because it's just being guided by my hand. W and S for the WADs, and I call them WADs. Some people call them the WASDA, but WADs is an actual word, and it's W-A-D-S. So your WAD keys, left and right is A and D. Throttle forward and back is W and S. W forward, or full throttle ahead. S is throttle backwards. So decelerate or accelerate. I was actually told by one of my science teachers before that there is no such thing as deceleration, that's just a word to describe you like going backwards basically, or slowing down. Everything is acceleration, because any adjustment in speed is actually acceleration. Again, I am not a great physicist or mathematician, or as my young cousin would say, a math magician, which I find to be hilarious and adorable. But I'm not any of those. So the only thing that I've learned by experimenting around with flying is what button does what. Now Q and E make you move laterally. So Q is to the left, E is to the right. These are important when you're trying to train yourself on a target and you're turning left and right. They allow you to circle much faster and become a harder target to hit. Also, but controlling your lateral and vertical movement while you're simultaneously controlling your vertical movement while you're controlling your horizontal movement is very difficult because of the way the keys are positioned. You've got R and F. R is vertical ascent, and F is vertical descent, whereas Q is left and E is right. So as you can see, just looking at your keyboard, the positioning of those keys it's really bad to try to use your horizontal strafing. It's hard to strafe while you're doing vertical movement at the same time. So a little bit difficult, but basically that's how it is. Now the C button brings you, where's the X? Yeah, the X button brings you to a dead stop. Basically, it slows you down. It causes your acceleration to go to 0, so it normalizes everything. Whether you're going back or forward, either way, it tries to normalize everything back to 0. Z turns flight control on and off. For whatever reason, I push it and it just turns its ass back on. It's just like, it's off. Now it's on again because you let go of the button. It'll turn flight assist off if I hold it, but as soon as I let go, it'll turn it back on. Now, flight assist isn't that big a deal with keyboard and mouse. Honestly, I would keep it on. You might want to turn it off so you have more precise control if you're using like a HOTAS setup, because again, it allows more precise control just because the way the buttons are configured and the way you're actually controlling everything. That's what's next. Caps lock doesn't do anything, I don't believe. Tab is your boost, which sounds fucking amazing. It's awesome. I don't know if it would actually make that sound in space, but I love it. So I'm very much appreciative. I'm very appreciative that they actually put that in there, whether it's accurate or not. Oh, so let's do a little turning maneuver. Let's go back. This is a long circle, but it's okay. Oh, almost hit that asteroid. I think flight assist just helped me avoid that, to be perfectly honest. Not sure, but I think it did. Now, I've seen other videos of people like using flight controls, using a joystick, a HOTAS setup, without flight assist, and they do it so damn well that it makes me jealous. And I think if you're gonna spend money on this game, it's, I believe, free to play. After you buy it, you can play online and do everything. I know Star Citizen is, so if this isn't, Star Citizen is. Getting a joystick, getting a HOTAS setup will incredibly, it will increase your experience like tenfold. It just feels so much more realistic. It feels better. Do it. If you want to dedicate time to playing this game because you have fun, but you're not that good at dogfights because you think the controls are a little iffy, spring for the joystick. Just do it. At the very least, just the joystick if you don't want the full HOTAS setup. Because it's just, it makes a world of difference, guys. It really does. I'm trying to tell you how to fly with the keyboard and mouse. Again, I'm not an expert, but I fiddled around with this for several hours by myself before I finally figured out the basics of the basics. And I just felt that a video, at least, that showed you how to do this thing. I am fine. If somebody discovers how to do even more things, how to control this even more efficiently than I have, and they put up a video in response to this one, and they at least gain some bit of information from this, I am satisfied, because I'm just trying my best to tell other people that don't have joysticks that want this game, flying with a keyboard and mouse is difficult, but this is how you do it. These are the buttons you use. So again, R, vertical strafing. F, vertical strafing down. R is up. Q, horizontal strafing left. E, horizontal strafing to the right. If you want to turn in tight quarters while using vertical strafing, you want to fly backwards, it will help you. It is a big help. However, I wasn't doing vertical strafing, I was doing lateral strafing. Oh, let's avoid that. And let's avoid that. Okay, so as you can see, and then rolling and then pointing up in order to turn more sharply is good. However, you turn better if you decelerate and then reaccelerate. Lower speeds your turning arc becomes much tighter, and therefore you're a harder target to aim at. Whereas at high speeds, your turning arc is much wider, so it's a lot easier for an enemy that's behind you to shoot you and kill the shit out of you. In the Sidewinder mission, which is the third mission where you fight an enemy that actually knows what it's doing, the AI is a bit better than in the second mission. I got my ass beat like multiple times in a row, so I had to come back to this mission where there's nothing to try to kill me and then learn to fly. This is what I've discovered so far. So that's it. This is a quick 20-minute video. I don't want it to be any longer than this. Hopefully I've covered everything. Oh yeah, the 1 button lets you look at this navigation. The 2 button lets you look at the middle, which is your radar. 3 lets you look over here, which shows you status, modules, fire groups, cargo, functions. And what you can do is if you orient your mouse and then hit the middle mouse button, you'll be able to look around and free move with your camera without actually controlling your ship, which is good. However, I've noticed that it resets if you try to look to the left or right using buttons, which is a pain in the ass. And I wish it didn't do it, but it does. So what you have to do is like look and then middle mouse. And no, it still doesn't care. This is a huge pain in the butt. I'm sorry. So if you middle mouse, you can look here, and then you have to like wonkily control the fucking camera, which is annoying. And then Q and E lets you move through the tabs. So right now I don't have any sub targets or cargo that I can look through. And then W and S lets you navigate through like the things that you have. So like for instance, I'll go here, galaxy map. That's all I have actually, and I can't actually select that because I'm in the middle of like a mission. If I look over here, I can go to let's see, look at it, modules. See, I can go up and down with W and S. If I want to actually interact with it, like I can move this to put more power into sensors. I don't actually have any power to spare right now, so I can't really do anything. But if you wanted to change it, you could just like move something down. For instance, lower the amount cargo hatch. I'm not going to be using the cargo hatch, so if I push space, I'll actually toggle it on or off. And then left and right actually targets the amount of power that it's using, but it's off. So off, it doesn't matter. Life support, turning off life support in space is not a real good idea, honestly. I wouldn't recommend it. Shield generators, if you're not fighting, you might as well turn this off. It'll also show you how much heat you're generating, so the more things you turn off, the less heat you'll generate. See? Now the thing about your drives is, like now, I fly much slower. See? And my thrusters are really poor. So now I can't I can't maneuver very easily at all. However, my heat signatures are much lower. Total heat generated is 0. This means that since I'm not generating any heat, I can sneak up on people without showing up on their radar. So this is like low run mode. However, if I wanted to turn this back on and then speed up a little bit and then turn it off, inertia will cause me, oh god, shoot, I don't want to die. Ah! Whoa, that was close. That was close. You can also see the buildup because my heat has gone way down. So I'm now getting frost buildup. I'm assuming my character may actually be able to die because of this. What did I turn off that is killing me like that? Shield gen, maybe? Or maybe it's just because I'm not generating any heat at all that I'm cold. Yeah, now that I'm starting to generate heat. Shields may have done it though, I'm not sure. So now it'll tell me that the info is up there, so you can look at that. Comms lets you know who's communicating with you and lets you see the messages that they're actually sending. If you actually want to look at the contacts that you're currently looking at, you can just do this real quick and then just, you know, flip through it. Contacts will be there. You can hit it to track it. So the navigation beacon, that allows me to track from long distance. So if I want to fly around the asteroid field just to have fun, I can do that. And then this will lead me back, which is closer to the target that I'm actually supposed to be killing, which is space garbage, space trash. I'm actually getting rid of evidence. Like, this mission is to get rid of the evidence of illegal dumping for Megalopolis or Megapolis or Mastopolis, I think. Some big mining corporation. Anyway, it's not that important. But that's it. So those are the controls that I know of so far. It's really difficult to fly with the keyboard and mouse. But as you experience it more, you will get more efficient. This is important. You need efficiency. Otherwise, you'll die in space. And no one wants to die in space. Not when there's so much left of it to explore and experience. So that's it. However, I'm still a terrible pilot. And I'm just going to crash into this asteroid. And that's how we're going to end the video. So, until next time, guys, this is Sage. And as always, peace!